So obviously it has been, a real event for most of these SMEs at times, questioning their survival. But, there is a silver lining there, what we have seen on the ground. So, Akshay, that's a very relevant statistic. What you said, that 60% of them had difficulty in accessing internet, if you talk about the SMEs. But one blessing that actually, helped a lot of SMEs and individuals also is the smartphone penetration in India, right? So after 2015-16, that in a way is nearly 100%. I can tell you, we work at grassroots, at SMEs, and what we are fixing for is, while there are extremely sophisticated technologies accessible to larger institutions, which is banks, or larger corporates, most of the high end technology is available there. And if you look at the other end of the spectrum, which is the MSMEs, even the basic rails are not in place, right? You don't
Yeah.
have any plumbing available there to actually go and put in your big data and AI and any other sophisticated solution. So what needs to be enabled, and what we're working for in a way, is just give them a very basic digital solution to get them going, which is now, COVID in a way has clearly been a catalyst. When an SME realizes that even though my home and office is in the same town, I will not be able to make it to office. And that is, an awakening of a moment where they are looking for digital solutions to manage their business. And especially when it comes to exports and imports, the plethora of documents, the complicated workflow, multiple moving parts, and exceptions that hit for every transaction, right? So all of this, digitization is a natural solution. And once you have these guys on the rail, right, it's like you have an electric car, but you don't have a plug point to plug it in, you will not help the environment. In the same way, now that awareness and awakening on the SME side is there, that yes, they need to look at digitization. And that, I think, is an inflection point, that once these guys with that, clear education awareness, if you give them the right, easy to use, cost effective solutions, you can aggregate them with technology, and then all of this in the background can work as a beautiful integration, where ultimately the idea is, what banks have not been able to achieve is something that you can then aggregate, tokenize, break it up, slice, dice, and bring
You
it
can do anything.
towards
Correct.
the transparency asset financing for these guys, right? Just one statistic which Sumit was mentioning on the micro side, a macro statistic, that today we have $15 trillion plus worth of assets at negative yield. And on the other spectrum, you have a large number of SMEs who are not able to avail financing, even though they are ready to pay high double digit cost. So, that's the disconnect where technology and digitization needs to play a role. And COVID, in a way, in hindsight, it will be a catalyst if we look at it 3-4 years down the line.